Excellent. Good to see some friends here, some new faces. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the South Asian Festival here in Chicago, especially on this rainy day. So two, I'll call them intense movies. We saw... you want the lights on? Yeah. Okay. Is that possible to turn the lights on, folks?
Yeah, please. We should use the ring light.
Okay.
And if we can get another chair, too. All right, well, we'll get started and we'll see if we can get the lights on. So let me just begin with the first movie that we saw, an 11-minute movie called What is the Criteria? And Abhijit is here with us. Boy, so much in 11 minutes. You know, it's amazing what you guys packed in a very short time. So maybe just speak about the motivations of the movie and introduce yourself to the crowd. I know you had a couple of different roles. I'm not exactly sure what they were. So go ahead, just borrow this microphone if you can.
Can somebody put the lights? We can't see you guys. Can't see anything. Yeah,
they are trying their best. You'll have to use your power of imagination for a few seconds. How's that?
You can come closer too if you want.
Yeah,
come on. A lot of room over here. My name is Abhijit Achar. I am the associate producer and director of photography of What is the Criteria? And I know the motivation for this film, and you know, I'm speaking on behalf of the director Aneesa and sort of my beliefs as well. But I think it was really telling the story that I think so many of us face growing up in America. And I'm an immigrant. I moved here when I was 12. But I know a lot of us share very similar experiences, especially with an elder generation versus our generation and sort of, you know, these mismatched ideologies and our parents holding on to their cultures as they've grown up. You know, but for us, we have a whole new set of beliefs that we're trying to wrangle as well. And so it's really this, you know, this intersection of two generations and trying to kind of find understanding and common ground. And so I know with my work too, a lot of what in the projects I tend to produce or be connected with are films that try to sort of bridge this gap between East-West ideals as well as kind of bridge these gaps intergenerationally.
Lovely, thank you. So we've got 3 representatives from Gunjal. I wish sometimes that we had a little bit more time to sort of think and process right after seeing such an intense movie. But I would love for whoever wants to. There's so much in this movie. Obviously, it speaks to so many issues, injustices, corruption. The name is so appropriate. There was such a tangled web. You know, I'd love to hear about the challenges about making this type of a movie. I think it took a long time, but if you can shed some light into the process of from inception to getting this to us here in Chicago, and as I was thinking about this, it reminded me of the quote from Martin Luther King that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So this is not just a story in Pakistan, it's a story for all of us. So if you can, Shoaib, if you can speak to that, please.
Hi everyone, first of all, thank you very much for joining today.
Thank you. And Shoaib is here all the way from Pakistan.
Yes, thank you, so nice of you. And as far as challenges are concerned, if you can see that it's not an easy film to make, obviously. For certain reasons, the major challenge was for the research. It's not like that we just read some books or consult the newspapers and then just write it down. So it took 6 months to research for this project. This was a very extensive task. The people who see you in the film are all real people, and I personally met each of one. And I interviewed them personally. So obviously we fictionalize it and we amalgamate it with the real events as well. But most of the things you see are real and authentic, and we keep it authentic in so many ways. So that was obviously making it research, because it's a very long journey otherwise, and to compress it in 2 hours, 15 minutes was a task as well. So that was a big challenge. Because there were a lot of POVs, it was not a simple story. There were a lot of POVs, everyone has their own like memory, and today we were researching 3 years back, and now after so many years, so the memory can be like a bit blurry, and people don't remember what actually happened. So, but whatever they narrated to us, we try to bring it the same way. The second one was obviously Lahore has been changed a lot if you have been to Lahore. So to create the 90s of Lahore was definitely a big task. Because 90s was different kind of feel of Lahore, the class different, and to create the newspaper world, actually that is, I think, a very difficult task, because newspaper were there at what time were in bloom, and to create that energy and with respect to that story around it, so was a challenge. And it's a third thing, that's ensemble cast. You see a lot of characters, a lot of people coming in, going, and what I believe as a director, that every individual, every character is very important. So to bring back on the screen those characters, living those moments which were actually real, and creating that ensemble cast was definitely a task. So a lot of challenges, but we tried hard with the support of Nigar, the brilliant producer, who supports that project. Such projects need to be supported, I believe. And honestly, without Nigar, it was not possible. Thank you.
So let's get some words from Nigar too on this, who was the producer of this movie. So add your perspective on the challenges. Yeah.
Thank you so much again for coming and watching this film with us. And I had a wonderful team, and I am now taking the credit of discovering a wonderful director. So, and then, I'm a businesswoman, but I'm a humanitarian by heart. So to raise awareness about this subject, about child labor, you always want to tell a story that sticks to people's heart. So Iqbal Masih is a Pakistani hero. He happened to be a minority child in Pakistan, and his story has everything. He rose to he became very popular from nothing. He was sold to bonded labor. He freed himself. He was curious, and then he joined a bonded labor liberation foundation, helped other children to help them free, and then tragically he was murdered. Right? So his murderer was you can't hear?
No. I said like wow.
Oh yeah.
That's a very
his murderer was acquitted after 2 years. So this story needed to be told.
Yes, absolutely.
So and also, like you said, child labor is not an isolated issue of Pakistan or South Asia. Child labor is a very big issue. If we see in the United States right now with some of these labor laws, we are regressing. We live in the South, so in Arkansas and also in some of the other surrounding states, there is this law that is relaxing child labor protections. Like if you are 13 years old and go to an employer and say that I'm 16 years old, so employ me, the employer is not required to ID you. They can just give you a job. It's like legalizing child labor. So when this happens in Pakistan or in other countries they are developing now, they can hide behind that they are still a developing country, or they have so many population and they don't have resources. But if that happens in the United States, it's scary because it's the world power. What do you do? Why you are regressing your child labor laws? So that says we have to open our eyes and scream about it.
Well said. As we were watching this, my wife Yasmin and I were saying to each other that we own a lot of carpets, and it's making us feel very uncomfortable about the carpets in our home. But I think that's one of the purposes, right? The purpose here is to make us think about we all as consumers of these things have a role to play. And it's not just an issue that is far from us. We also have a voice in that. So because time is limited, we have another set of great movies coming to this theater at 3 o'clock. I want to give the opportunity to the folks, and hopefully you can see us now. They have lit us up in quick fashion. So there's a volunteer here who's got a microphone. If you raise your hand, I think I see Shafqat. It's a little hard for me to see. And then the lady behind Shafqat is next.
And then we have one more as well.
One at the back there, and Jagar can help me spot the people. So starting with you, Shafqat, please, go ahead.
Hi, very powerful movie. It was extremely well done. But is it on?
No, the micro. Get the microphone on. Yeah.
I think is it on now?
We can hear you.
You can project, Shafqat, yeah.
I think so.
Yes.
I think so. Very powerful movie, very, very well done. You know, sometimes I often feel, you know, I grew up in London. I was born in Lahore, but I was 6 months. I grew up in London, and now I live in America. And I always feel that our hearts are really moved by subjects like this. And we are so, like, wanting to know how to... But then when you go to Pakistan, you wonder, does this movie have an impact on the people there?
I think yes, because you know, in Pakistan, when we had this screening, so many people came up to us after watching this with tears in their eyes. They're like, we see this every day, but we don't realize it. Now, after seeing this movie, we are compelled to think about when we see a child bringing us tea in a restaurant. Or they also, some of the folks came up and said, we go to big restaurants and we see these little girls sitting outside of the restaurant because they're taking care of the elite little family members who are maybe dining inside the restaurant. So it's like we have to open our eyes, and this is how awareness works, with one step at a time.
Well said. There was a question right behind. Have you figured out an alternate microphone?
Yeah, microphone is working. So yeah, please take the microphone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Sanjita,
right
go there
behind.
quick. Yeah.
And if you can just introduce yourself and ask the question, please. Thank you, Shafqat, for that. Yeah.
My name is Furqan Majid. Yes. And I have worked for Pakistan Television as director. First of all, thank you so much, Shoaib. Working wonderful. My question is, what were the challenges regarding the carpet industry mafia? I have worked on football industry and it was not easy. What was their response on that? And after that, what was your inspiration, the producers? Did they just supported you or the script? Thank you.
First of all, thank you very much, Sultan. This was obviously the thought behind this film was in Panigat, and we initiated this idea. And during the research, actually, we came across that how important was the carpet mafia was involved in this whole subject. Earlier, when we started this subject, actually it was only about celebrating Iqbal Masih and he was murdered and how it happened. So, but when we start researching about the subject, then we were able to know that how much carpet mafia or carpet industry, the decline of in fact carpet industry was involved or part of this whole journey of Iqbal Masih. When we were making the film, obviously we don't know that how it will happen, how it will be received, what will be the impact, and how it will be perceived and received. But once we made it and released it, as you asked, but honestly speaking, no one from carpet industry reached out to us or asked anything about what we believe that maybe they are scared. And honestly speaking, right now the carpet industry is not in that fashion or in that level, which was way in back 90s. Because of this whole incident happened, and then this whole because of this child labor issue, and there are a lot of sanctions on Pakistani carpet industry, so that it all happened. So right now the carpet industry is there, but it's not that flourished or not that impactful, or there is no child labor, honestly speaking, because during the research I have been to so many factories running around Lahore right now, and there is no child labor. So it means they are implementing, which I believe is a good thing in so many ways. So if you are buying carpets today, and if there is a tag, right now there is a law that you have to put a tag that no child labor involved. And please, through this, you can see that when you are buying a carpet, you have to watch out for that tag that no child labor involved. And I hope that whoever is making it, ensuring it, that there is nothing involved right there.
That's very good to hear. So it's all the activism and then telling these movies, it makes a difference. Abhijit, I have a question for you. As I was thinking about this, what an amazing use of glasses, right? That's a superpower that the young lady had. talk about the design and that stuff. And there was like so many things that's one reason perhaps a very long story with all the hypocrisies that are inherent in our society, within our subculture, that kind of came out in 11 minutes. So talk to that from a movie-making perspective.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things that really drew me to the script when Aneesa initially reached out, was this sort of magical realist element to the film.
Right.
Because as a filmmaker, as a writer, director, and a DP myself, I love films that employ that. And I think that's like the sequence where it was the flashback, but it was like kind of fun and it had all the colors and stuff,
right,
which was like clearly subjective, right? But I thought that was really, really well done and very interesting. So yeah, with the glasses, I thought that was really.
But in your case, it was almost sort of simultaneous. It was concurrent.
Yeah, exactly.
That she was going into what is said and what is hidden, which doesn't sort of come out, the truth behind it.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, that hypocrisy is so often tied into our cultures, and just having a way to be able to clearly see someone's true intentions and what someone is really thinking. And I think, there's always this veil of what we should do and what's appropriate, but never about what we want, but also what we want, but also in a way that feels right to our family and to our culture. So in a way, staying true to yourself, but also, giving honor, I think, to...
It's a balance of the two.
100%. And I think that's something we often struggle with. And then from a production standpoint, it was very kind of, I think, challenging. And, how do we, what do these glasses look like? And then B, how do we kind of cut back and forth between our objective world and...
Were they shot with a different sort of camera, different speed, when we went into this alternate reality?
Yeah, so it was actually the same camera, but it was just a matter of filtration.
Got it.
And so I just threw a metric ton of filters in front of the lens, and I was like, let's just try this filter, that filter, that filter. And there was probably like 4 filters in front of the lenses by the end of the day. And then obviously, production design was a huge element in this. Thinking about the outfits, they would all turn red. So that was also a bit of a logistic nightmare as far as scheduling. Like, okay, we have to get all these extras out of their white clothing and put them all in their red clothing. And then also our lighting adjusted a little bit.
I almost want to see the movie again, because with that little bit of perspective that you're sharing, I'm sure there's so much else we will pick up on a second view.
Yeah, and I hope you do. I think that was a really, really awesome part of the film.
Thank you, Abhijit. Jigar, did you have a question? I know there's one in the back too, but let's...
more right there.
All right, whoever's at the back there. Go ahead, please. If you can just introduce yourself and ask the question. The microphone is coming to you now.
Hi, my name is Ahmed, and I'm a film student. I'm from Pakistan, so I was really touched with the film. One of the things that I want to ask is that I know that the film has already released in Pakistan and had a limited release, but something as good as this film, which is representing Pakistan cinema, I believe, because I want it to be like a version of representing. What is your plan on making it like a massively released film in Pakistan so that more people are aware about it? Because this is something that everybody in Pakistan should watch.
Thank you so much. It's such a good question. And before taking that question, I want to say your film is a wonderful film, and we all were touched by it. It's like really the story of the people who are living here, immigrants. It's a wonderfully done. And thank you. So coming back to your question, Ahmed, we released it in Pakistan. We did our best to market it in Pakistan, but we did not receive that wonderful response that we were waiting for in Pakistan. The thing is, I believe we have to create our audience in Pakistan for films like Gunjal and other similar films. But when they see this film is not a masala film, they tend to not go to watch the film. There was one thing. Another thing I also realized, well, I do not go there. And let's answer your question that we...
That's okay. This is a sophisticated audience. They want to hear what's on your mind. Go for it.
Yeah. So the thing is this, in Pakistan, people somehow are ashamed or look down upon watching a Pakistani content. They are okay with watching Pakistani dramas, but they are not okay watching Pakistani films in a way. They're like, no, well, we love Hollywood films. Yeah, we also watch Bollywood old films. You know, they do not want to be associated with the current population of even Bollywood. Or then they say, I mean, what do you do if so many people, actors per se, they're acting in films and going in front of their fans and saying that we don't watch Pakistani films? Why would the fan watch? Those fans watch them. So this is one problem. Another thing in Pakistan is we need support in Pakistan, not only from audience, also from the government. The government should subsidize Pakistani film industry in a way that the cinema people can run Pakistani films at least for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, non-stop. It should be mandated if Pakistani government wants to revive Pakistani film industry. Yes, there are people, there are very smart people, they want to make such films and even better than this. This was our first effort. So we learned so much in the process.
For the first effort, just give them a round of applause. It's hardly a novice product at all.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
Just one last question.
We have, yes. And these representatives will be here, so you can catch up with them.
My name is Tara Swaminathan. I just want to say 2 comments. It was absolutely a brilliant film. Just felt very sad that this house was not full. And it should have been shown probably at an even better time so that more people can get aware of this. So to me that. And second one was, the lyrics of the songs were so brilliant. And the person who sang it was just amazing.
Thank you.
And as such, I think it did a great, absolutely fantastic job for a first film. I can't believe it.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate that.
Very nice, very nice.
So you all can be the ambassadors of this, and
I sure will.
One quick question back here, and let's get the word out to folks. If you guys remember the lead actor here, he was here, Jigar, a few years ago.
Yes.
He was the lead in
Lal Kabutar.
Lal Kabutar. Ahmed, right? Ahmed Ali.
Yeah.
The gentleman at the back there, the microphone is coming to you, and then we'll make that the last question, right, Jigar?
Yes.
I'm so sorry I missed the first film because we've got in traffic. Otherwise, I wanted to see that.
What is the criteria? No, it's a fantastic movie, and I would strongly encourage you to watch that, please. Go ahead, sir.
So, this movie, Gunjal, is a fictional movie, but it's based on events, true events. So, how much have you tried to stay with the reality of what happens? Was there a blatty reporter pursuing the death investigation?
How close is it to reality?
Okay. Thank you so much for the question. It's pretty close to the reality when you see Iqbal Masih's life and his family. But the journalist is a totally fictional character. And we also, the other guy, the OBLR, that's real character. And there was the name, for the reason we didn't give the real names. Names are all changed. So that's also a real person, but we did not get to interview him. So whatever we have put in there, it's also pretty much fictional. Other than that, we had access to FIRs and all the media reports and everything else. What happened during that time? Pretty much it's available also online. So
was there a definite...
No, it's...
on whether it was the carpet industry or whether the...
Nobody knows, and we want you to think about it. What do
open
the
to
audience
interpretation.
think? It's open to interpretation as the case sees.
We'll leave it at this, folks. So thank you to Abhijit, to Shoaib Sultan, who's here from Pakistan, to Nigar, and to her husband Rosamond, who's the executive producer. Thank you so much for coming and joining us here, and all of you for your support of the movie, support of the South Asian Film Festival, and hope you enjoy the rest of the programs here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Jigar and team, for having this wonderful festival, and thank you for moderating.
Thank you so much.